Hey, this is Carla from the Butcher Babies.
This is George Corcoran Fisher from Cannibal Corpse.
Hey, this is Rex from Kill Devil Hill. It's Wednesday 13. This is Dad from Devil Driving.
This is Motorist from War. You're listening to Rabid Noise
on Rabid Radio.
Turn it up.
Hey, Jason, what's up, man?
Hello, buddy. How's it going?
Yeah, good, dude. It's definitely awesome to have you on the show.
Wicked. Well, yeah, it's awesome to be there. To be speaking to you, mate. To be fair, like I did a couple of Australian phonies yesterday, and they're my first ever Australian phonies, so it's pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's rad. Well, man, the album is it's killer. I really dig Earthbound, and what a way to kick off, man. The Eternal it packs a punch from the word go. That track is just amazing, man. Is that the starting off point when you were writing?
No, we didn't actually. I think I can't remember the first track that we wrote, but one of the first ones was The Burden, I think, and Cemetery, that was an early one. No, we kind of felt, though, with The Eternal, the way it just kind of jammed, like, it started how a lot of our favourite records started when we were, like, 16, So we were like, well, this is, the beginning of this song, how we wrote it is how maybe subconsciously we wrote it with the beginning in mind, but I think we just wanted a song that encapsulated a lot of stuff we listened to back in the day, like It Dies Today and stuff, and we were like, yeah, that encapsulates that, so let's put it at the start. It just that's the best thing about this record, man. A lot of it's not really purposeful, we didn't purposely do a lot of stuff. It was kind of like, let's just write this song because we want this type of song, let's write this song because we want this type of song on the record, and then boom, we had an order. It was actually really easy to put them in order, which I didn't think it would be. So
always wondered about that, how bands sort of come up with how they arrange the tracks and stuff like that. It's not as easy as what people think. I think.
No, definitely not. I think for us, it's the last thing we do, and we almost put it off. If I'm honest with you, it's normally myself that gets the lineup, and it's a case of does everybody agree, and then a few people will be like, oh, well, I kind of saw this song being. Because a lot of people won't have an opinion about that track listing until you show them. So it's a case of like, look, I've done this track listing, and they're like, oh, I kind of saw that song at the end of the album, and I kind of saw that song at the beginning. So it's But saying that, once you have an opener and you have an ending song, and you have, say, you put your single like second or third. When we had 10 tracks, so that's like 7 down. So it was a case of 3 down. So it was a case of just having 7 left to go. And they, as I say, they all slotted in quite easily. So
it's got a really good flow. The album has a really, really good flow from start to finish. It's good, and the production as well is just stunning. It sounds massive.
That's awesome, dude. Well, I mean, our engineer, we went with a guy called Mike Curtis. Close to us, he's a friend of ours. We did our last record with him, and I don't think a lot of people would think that we went with the same person for both records, but I think that's almost commends how much he's improved. He's improved as much as we've all improved at what he does, and I think that does show on this record. Like, he's got better at recording bands, and we've got better at being a band, so it was just one of those.
Oh, totally, man. Like, I think between Runes, wasn't it? The previous one? Yeah, Runes and this one, you can definitely... like, the production wasn't bad, but it's just definitely... It's definitely sounds a lot bigger on this one, too. So, yeah, congrats to that dude, too. So,
Thank you, man. Thank you.
I mean, it's just... It's a really good evolution of the band as well, and the songwriting's solid, too. It's what, 10 years now you guys been doing this?
Yeah, I mean, 10 years, the band started 10 years ago with our drummer Jacko and his friends when they were in college, and then I joined 8 years ago. So we've been touring professionally for 8 years, really. I mean, we've been a band for 10, but Barry Tomorrow's been a band, but since I joined 8 years ago, since then, we recorded an EP, and then just started playing shows as much as we could since then. So yeah, it's been about 8 years of just trying, trying to be an own band. I think when Jacko started it, we were doing covers. So
you're not classing it as a 10-year sort of celebration this year?
Well, No, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Probably speaking to the wrong member because I think other guys will. I think other members will say it's about 10 years. But for me, it's 8 years because it's 8 years for me. But it's still a long bloody time, right?
Yeah, it is, man. It is. In the lifestyle, in the life span of bands these days, that is a long time. And. To be out touring and growing as individuals as well within that, it must be amazing, man. 8 years alone is a long time.
I think I definitely, mate, it's unique, dude. Like doing this and doing what I've done for the past 8 years. I mean, I'm 27, and since I was 18, I haven't had a life that's like most people, like most of my friends and stuff. So it is unique, and there's positives and negatives to everything, as everyone knows. So. I mean, it is amazing, and I wouldn't change it for the world. It's what I love to do, and yeah, man, it is cool. Like I love touring, I love playing shows, and especially when you get to the point, we're on our 4th record, and we release every record. I like to think has gone down well, and but I think with this one, with every record, everyone's always like, this band can go somewhere, this band can go somewhere. It's kind of good to feel like now we've released Earthbound. People seem to think maybe we're there or just about nearly there. So, but yeah, it's cool, man. Hopefully this record can just give me another 8-10 years.
I think it will, dude. I think it will, and it's going to be definitely interesting to hear what comes next from you guys. It's exciting times.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think we'll carry on doing what we do. I think because what we've always tried to do is just become better, be better musicians. Myself, I just want to be a better guitarist. Same with all of us. We all just want to be better at what we do. And I think, I'm not saying that we were rubbish, but we weren't anywhere near that at the beginning. And I don't think we're there yet. I still feel we can get better. I still think we can get better at songwriting, get better at playing each other's, get better at playing each of our instruments. And I think that's why I'm excited to be in this band, because I look around and I think we're really good at doing what we can do and nothing more. We just think, well, look, this is what we can do. Let's just be really good at it, and let's not try hard or try too less. Let's just do that. And we've always done that with every record. We think, right, this is where we're at. This is how good we are. Let's do the best we can with that in mind. We've always done that, and I just think if we carry on doing that, we do the same thing for every record, whether that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them. I think people will always get the same general beat, Bury Tomorrow vibe from our records, which is important. I think. Like, I'm a big Incubus fan, and they've changed so much throughout their records, but now I think they're on like number 8 or something now. But they are still the same band to me. They've still got the same vibe. They still, and I think that's important to keep.
Definitely, man. Definitely, and like bands have to evolve. You can't expect them to make the same record over and over again. I mean, I think it's unfair to expect a band to do that, unless they're going to, go and make Lulu. But that's
I think it's about, for sure. I agree with that. I think it's about, it's about just keeping true to your sound, Like, we started this band because we love melodic metal, and we started this band because we felt that there was a lot of good melodic metal out there, but we felt that when we were 18, 17, we were at the start of something. We were listening to bands, like Parkway Drive with Killing with Smile. We were listening to bands like As I Lay Dying with Shadows of Security, and we were like, this is the type of music that's just the generation we were from. That whole like melodic metal, it's like super heavy, but then there's so much melody, whether that's with singing or just lead guitar, it's just so much melody in there. And I think we're so built around that I think we'll never change our sound, really. As I say, we'll just get better at doing what we do. And I like to think what we do is a little bit unique, hopefully. I mean, it is still metal. It's still metalcore, but I just think the way we do it is it's just like every person's unique. Like, everyone's got their own way of living life, and we just got our own way of being a band. It's the Bury Tomorrow side of melodic metal, and hopefully we never lose that.
That's right, man. I think it sounds like you guys are just doing your own thing and staying true to yourselves, and the people dig it. You know, that people know when it's honest.
Yeah.
So that's what's important.
Well, that's the thing. We never released like our first record and our second record, and we never had a lot of people say like, "Oh, you need to change this, you need to do this, you need to do this." We did that to ourselves. We were like, "We need to get better." Like any comment anyone made, any critic or any review I read that was bad, it had a point. But then I knew that we were as good as we were, and we were just trying the best we could to do the music that we love to do, and that always kind of came down to that. And I just think every record we move on to, we make sure that we're better at what we do, so we can answer. You know, it's never a case of people are like, "Oh, you're really bad at doing this, you shouldn't do it anymore." You know, it's a case of, "Oh, maybe there could be a bit better here," and we know that more than anyone. You know, I think as a band, we know our faults probably more than any magazine and any reviewer, because we all know ourselves. We know how good we are. You know, we never expected our EP and our first record to get us to where we got to. I don't think. Just, you know, we were like, "Oh, well, we still feel like we've got a hell of a lot to learn." So, but it did well, and it put us in places that we could take opportunities, and I think we tried to take as many of those in the past 8 to 10 years, and we got to the fourth record, so I'm happy.
I think there's going to be more on the way by the sounds of it, man. Well, the album actually also features Jamie Juster from Hatebreed as well on the track 301. That's mad. How did that come about?
Well, basically, it is crazy. It still blows my mind. I think it was about a year ago, maybe a little bit longer. Dan got invited onto Jamie's podcast for MTV. He does like a podcast thing, and he just talks to the front man about state of the scene and blah blah. And he invited Dan. I think he followed him on Twitter, and they had a conversation about something. I don't know, political probably. And they got on, and Jamie invited him on. Dan was really, really stoked about it, and had an interview with him. And then I think in that email, Jamie was like, "I dig the band, I dig what you do. Like, you know, I'm listening to what you're thinking about. It's cool." And so Dan always had him in mind. We'd never done guest vocals before, never done it. So we were always a little bit, personally, I was always a bit like, let's not go down that route. But he came to doors when we were writing a certain song. It just kind of started out as like quite a thrashy tune, and then he was like, you know, let's write a part for Jamie, and then let's just see if he'll do it. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But if he does, he does. So we literally wrote a part that we thought was as Hatebreed as possible, as Hatebreed as Buries Where I Could Go, and then we sent it across to him, and he literally within like 20 minutes to 40 minutes, he sent back a version of what he wanted to do over it, and we were like, "Dude, that's solid, man. Thanks so much." So it was really. It wasn't forced. It wasn't like we had to pay him loads of money or plead with him to be on the record, or it wasn't even. I keep forgetting that Hatebreed are now on our label Nuclear Blast. I keep forgetting that because it wasn't even a label thing. It was just we asked him, he said yes, and boom, it was there.
Well, for him to come back that quick as well, and you didn't have to chase him up or anything, that's unheard of.
Yeah,
you know, and he's like
unreal, man. I can only think he just sat on his phone, really bored, and then he gets that email from us, and he's got like a microphone in his front room, like waiting to go. You know, like
oh man,
you need to record at any point.
That's awesome, man. That's what you want, I guess, to be creative. If you've always, you know, as a vocalist, you know, you to have that there so you can go and do your demos or whatever. Like that'd be pretty handy. Have your own little studio. Yeah,
most definitely. I think if you were Jamie Juster, it's probably a good idea too. Like anyone else, you'd be like, "Dude, that's really weird." But Jamie Juster, I mean.
Well, man, as a vocalist yourself, like, man, you've got such a great voice. You know, being on the road for so long, you know, how do you take care of it? What's your own secret? Because everyone's got their own sort of remedies and.
Yeah. I learned pretty quickly that because I think we used to do a lot of local shows, obviously traveling around the country, but it was never night after night after night. I always had a rest, and I think in the early days I definitely lived off that a little bit. And then I think when we went to the States in 2000 and I can't even remember when it was now. I think it was 2010 or something, and we did a 3.5 week tour, and I think there was like 4 days off, and I did struggle. I got through it but it was a struggle. And I think the more and more we've gone on, the more pressure I've put on myself to be as good live as I am on CD. You know, that's the one thing I hate about this type of music too. Like,